Okay, hello. My name's Aki, and I'm here to, I don't know, explain my commander deck. I just made for Yargle and Multani. Just, for fun, because Yargle and Multani is kind of a meme thing. But on the other hand, it's not only a meme thing, because it's the highest printed power on any card there is. Um, there's some cards that have higher power plus toughness, but that doesn't matter. It's the highest power, and you could actually abuse that quite a bit. But I'm not going to do that. This is more about just having fun with the idea of playing Yargle and Multani. I guess more about playing Yargle than Multani. Multani is kind of boring when compared to Yargle, but anyway. So if you're not haven't seen this yet, this is kind of a this was spoiled yesterday during the Pro Tour. Yesterday being 19th of February 2023. And yeah, it just, you know, immediately this was something that we were discussing this cards from this set that was spoiled, and this was the card that came up all the time because again it's Yargle. Multani is there also, but doesn't really matter. And there's a funny flavor text. It's also vanilla, which doesn't happen much anymore. I don't even remember what was the last vanilla creature printed. Uh, there might be some in like some starter products, I don't know, but like there hasn't. I don't think there has been one. There's been a vanilla creature in standard for a while. Not that anyone would even play those in standard, but anyway. But yeah, it's a 6 mana, 18/6. That's what you need to know. It is also a frog and a spirit and an elemental, all things that you could find synergies for, but not this time. This is just a meme deck, basically. It does do things. So I always try to find that sweet spot between, you know, tank and crossing. Just something that I would like to play. Like more interested in playing strategically than trying to, than trying to combo your opponents out. Instead, try to have interesting games. So yeah, and here's what I have. So again, this is on Scryfall. The Scryfall's deck builder, which you can get access to by donating money to them. So basically buying access to this. Uh, but yeah, it's a one-time deal. So yeah, I paid like I think 10 euros quite a long time ago, and you can do this. And so yeah, I like it. Anyway, um, okay, other things on how I usually approach this. I want to have 40 lands, and I do, especially if since my commander costs 6. So even if it dies once, I will need more lands to be able to replay it again. I want to play it early, and when it dies, I want to be able to play it soon again. So that's why I have a lot of ways of finding lands and a lot of ways of ramping. If I remember correctly, counted correctly, I have 40 lands and like 13 early ways of finding lands. More later on. So if you count, okay, Steve ramps, Sylvan Ranger finds me a land, Farhaven Elf ramps, Nissa finds me a land, Zelvala ramps. So that's how many? That's already 5 cards. Then 6, 7, 8. Creatures cost 1 less, so 9. 10. 11. What else do we have? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21 ways of finding lands or ramping. Some of them cost more than 4, and I usually don't want to count those simply because I want to count only those that I can probably play from my, initial hand. The idea being that if I can play it from my hand, like I want to keep lands with 3 lands and 4 spells. That's like the optimal situation would be like 3 lands, 1 ramp spell, and 3 other spells. That would be kind of optimal. So but I would specifically want to be able to make sure that I can play the ramp spells. So usually I only count those as ramp in my decks. But yeah, we have plenty of ramp, plenty of interaction, like Murderous Rider, plenty of interaction, like Murderous Rider is interaction, Glissa is interaction, Big Game Hunter is interaction. Glissa is kind of bad interaction, but it's still interaction. What one should note is that Glissa, destroy target enchantment. You can make deals with it. Because you have to hit a player to be able to do this, but you can hit any player to destroy any enchantment. So yeah, that's an option you should keep in mind. If you can find another player who's willing to take 3 damage so that you can destroy an enchantment, that shouldn't be too hard to do. Under interaction, Polukranos, Grist, Raska, Garruk, Cursed, Huntsman, 2 versions of Liliana, Binding of the Old Gods, Cling to Dust, a fight spell, couple of spot removals, Death Sprout included. I like Death Sprout very much. Yeah, some card draw. I like Read the Bones because it's an early draw spell if I need to draw the lands, and it's a late, but it still works later on. Oh yeah, Monstrous Onslaught is also a great interactive piece of interaction, especially because if you have Yargle, this can then destroy quite a few creatures. This is sort of our only mass destruction spell in the deck. I don't have any other mass destruction spells. I could easily do that because I only have like 20 creatures, many of which are just already have done their job after they enter the battlefield. But yeah, and this is also nice, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control as you cast its spell. So if you have Yargle in play and you cast the spell, if someone kills Yargle, you still get to do the 18. So keep that in mind. What else? Okay, I have equipment, some equipment. Some is here because it gives specifically +3/+3. So our commander, it has 21 power, so that it can one-shot. Some of it is, haste. Some of it's trample, some of it's giving bonuses, some for card draw, some for ramp. Moon Silver Spear is partly this because I find it funny. This looks like a toothpick probably on Yargle. Also card draw, card advantage. Well, Grissa is card advantage. Selvala can be card advantage. Our curve doesn't necessarily serve it very well. Obviously, if you have Yargle in play, nothing's gonna trigger the first ability, and the second ability is going to give you all the mana you'll ever need. Greater Tanuki's card advantage. What else? Garruk is also great card advantage, can draw you like 18. This Garruk is much worse, but it gives +3, +3. Why is it hard to say 3? Anyway, +3, plus +3, +3. I should drink something. Yeah, sorry about that. Give specifically +3, +3, +3, which is 21. So with Yargle, so it can give you get to enough commander damage. And obviously the other uh, planeswalkers here are just can give you card advantage on their own. Ping to Dust gives you card advantage. Return of the White Speaker can give you card advantage. Quite a bit of card advantage with Yargle. Rich card expertise, the same thing. Huge amount of card advantage. Then also one thing you should note, I also just put many of the cards that say greatest power in some way. Like this is not a good card, but there it is. If you have Yargle in play, it's going to be 18/18. Same thing with Pathbreaker Ibex. So it's slow. The deck doesn't have many creatures, but it says specifically greatest power. And Yargle has the greatest power. So that's it. That's the only reasoning here. Selvala is actually the same. So, oh yeah, this is not a good creature either, but it says greatest power. So in some ways, this is, a strong team, but otherwise kind of a boring deck. But yeah, there it is. Again, the goal, I don't want to have complete tank. I want to have something playable. I don't want to have something that just easily combos out. I'd much rather have something that, interesting games, and that's the goal. But hey, thanks for listening. Haven't done this in a while. Maybe I'll do some in the near future. We'll see. Probably not. I am trying to have fun with the game of Magic without actually buying anything because I currently don't want to give my money to WotC under any circumstances. So I don't know. Please print this out if you want to play this. Obviously, just among friends. Don't go to official tournaments or anything. But hey, here we are.